Here we have a review of the CEA Class E Adventurer Superman 4 or Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Now I will say right off the bat that it is an interesting choice of name going with Superman 4. I understand they didn't go with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta for fear of copyright infringement, but Superman is also copyright protected. Maybe it's because the name and the character don't actually align, so they felt they're a bit safer there. But anyway, here we have it. So taking a closer look at the packaging, we do have a view pane of the figure inside, and then some nice promo art of the figure on the front. On the side of the box, we do have Superman 4. On the back, we have some more promo art and the legal at the bottom. The other side, we do have another shot or promo art. Superman 4 on the bottom, and just view pane at the top. And here we have the accessories. So we do have a couple energy effects and a stand, but I will say the energy effects and stand do look fairly cheaply made. They remind me of the Figurize model kits, so they look very much put together, not really as professionally done as some of the other third parties out there, or especially not as well done as Figure Arts. I suppose it is nice that they included them, but I don't know that I would actually use them since they do look fairly cheap. And we also have 3 alternate faceplates in addition to the neutral faceplate that comes on the figure. Starting at the bottom, we do have a yelling face. Now the paint and the decaling does look pretty clean on this, and I will say that the yelling face here does look better than some of the past iterations we've seen in other third parties and even from Figure Arts. So not a bad version. You do have a nice, if I get that focused a bit better, you do see the pupils in there with the blue iris, so that does look really nice. You also have a gritting teeth expression, also really cleanly done. And then we have a neutral expression with a side eyes glance. All of those look fairly clean. We also have 7 alternate hands. So we do have 2 open energy blast hands, 2 more martial arts gripping hands, 2 gripping hands, and then 1 thumbs up hand. And now to review the figure. So right off the bat, we do see some very nice shading in the chest, in the pants, as well as a little bit on the shoulders there too. So I'll bring it in closer so we can take a better look at the paint apps here. So we do have that nice shading and definition on the chest, on the abs, and on the neck there as well. Not sure if it's too much. It is very dark, so it might be a bit heavy-handed, but it does really pop. So overall, I'd say it does look good. Then we have that shading on the pants there. That does give some nice definition. I think that's a bit more subtle, and I do like the application of that. And then some shading on the shoulder muscles too. Now I do notice that there are some paint chips in my figure. So you do see here where the hair looks like it was pressing down on that paint in the packaging, as well as on the other side, looks like it was pressing down there too. And then a little bit on the neck in there. And then on my abs, it looks like there's some paint chipping there too from pressing down in the packaging. So it is unfortunate that I do have several cases of paint chipping, this one being very noticeable if that hair is moved out of the way. So I wish they would have used a better quality paint on this. So I do recommend being careful with this chest part. Other than that, the rest of the paint does look fairly cleanly done. And the face does look clean as well. Now for our articulation, I do have to say that I wish that this piece of hair was articulated. So it does restrict the movement of the head. So he always has sort of like a downwards looking almost angle for that head. So I wish that was articulated so you could get a bit better range on this. You can only really have him look up if you move his chest back. Otherwise, if you keep that chest fixed, you can't move his head up. So yeah, I do wish that this was articulated. It does look like these other pieces of hair are a bit articulated. They don't move a whole lot, but should help with posing, that they can move out of the way a little bit there. So in terms of the head movement, you can look down about that much. Can't look back at all. Rotating to the side about that much, rotating about that much as well. And the neck movement does give it a little bit of range, but yeah, not a whole lot there. We do have butterfly joints on the arms. You can move up 90 degrees, full 360. We do have a shoulder swivel. Elbow is at about 90 degrees there. Do have a bend and rotate at the wrist. For the chest movement or torso, you can crunch about that much, so not very much. And again, I do recommend being careful with this paint. You can go back a bit further. For waist movement, looks like you can do a full 360 spin with the waist there. For our legs, move that tail out of the way. And come up about that much. You can kick forward, good 90. Move the tail out of the way again. And about 90 back as well. Since the tail likes to be in the way, we can see the articulation here. So do a bend and rotate there. So some pretty good range with that. It is odd, the placement of that joint. Usually you see the joint directly in the butt there. They decided to have a bit of a stump first, then the joint. So if you are looking at the figure from the rear, that is fairly noticeable. Not sure why they chose to do that. I definitely would have preferred that joint to be in the butt rather than halfway down the stump. But okay, it is what it is. Now for the knee, you do have a good range there with the double jointed knee. You have some hip swivel, or thigh swivel, sorry. Then for our foot, good side to side range. Can't really move the foot that much. I don't know if it's just tight or if it's just very restricted, but it doesn't want to move that much. Just a little bit there. Toe, crunch a little bit. All right. Now in terms of, let's test some of these accessories, swapping them out, because I know it can be difficult on some of these figures. So faceplate does come off fairly easily. And we will pop in, let's go with the gritting teeth expression. So fairly easy on the head swap there. It is interesting in here, let me get that faceplate back off, that there's an extra hole in there. So you have the two for the pegs, but there's a third hole in there. I'm not sure why they decided to do that. I don't think it has anything to do with weight, since this is fairly well supported on the neck. You'd expect this piece to be hollow, if anything. So interesting that that's there, but it doesn't hurt anything cosmetically because it is hidden. So pop that faceplate back on. And then for swapping out the hands, they seem to not have any issues swapping out or putting on. So fairly easy for changing out those alternate faceplates and hands. And for our height, he does stand just about 6 1/4 inch tall. And for our height comparisons, here we have him next to the SH Figure Arts Majin Vegeta and the SH Figure Arts Scouter Vegeta 2.0. And here we have him next to the Kong Studios Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and the SH Figure Arts Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku. And here we have him next to the SH Figure Arts Future Trunks and the SH Figure Arts Gotenks. And here we have him next to the SH Figure Arts event exclusive Nappa and the SH Figure Arts Majin Buu or Super Buu. Overall, the CEA Superman 4 or Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is a good looking figure, but it does have its issues. The paint quality on the chest and the abs leaves a lot to be desired. The fact that it was chipped in multiple places straight out of the package is very unfortunate. And there are some interesting choices with the articulation, or lack of articulation in some places. The fact that the back hairpiece has no articulation significantly restricts the movement of the head, and the choice to put the point of articulation for the tail partway down the stump limits the movement of the tail as well. You can't actually pose the tail in a straight upwards position, and it does look very unsightly from the rear. Additionally, the limited range of movement for the ankle does make it difficult to pose this figure in dynamic poses without a stance, so I do wish they would have put a little bit more thought into some of the articulation. But despite those issues, I do think this is a very good looking figure, and I do recommend adding it to your collection.